You fixed your bloating before. Maybe you cut out gluten, you tried a probiotic, maybe you did an elimination diet for weeks, and it worked for a while, but then the bloating came back. The gas, the pressure, the feeling that your stomach's on its own schedule no matter what you do. This is what I need you to hear. That's not you failing, that's the treatment failing, because most bloating treatments only address the symptom, not the reason your gut keeps losing the ability to stay in balance. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why bloating keeps coming back and the 5 underlying patterns I see in almost every patient who just can't get lasting relief. I'm Dr. B, board certified in functional medicine. I help women reset their gut so they can thrive. In my practice, I see patients every day who have been bloated for years. They've tried everything, and the reason they're still stuck is almost always the same. Nobody's looked at why their gut keeps losing the ability to stay in balance, and that's what today is all about. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, and this is the one that almost nobody talks about. Your gut has a built-in cleaning system. It's called the migrating motor complex, the MMC. Think of it as a wave that sweeps through your small intestine during the break between meals. Its job is to push bacteria, leftover food particles, and debris down your gut so it stays clear. But here's the catch. This wave only turns on when you're not eating. So if you're constantly snacking, grazing throughout the day, eating late, or sipping on calories between your meals, your gut never gets to run that cleaning cycle. Food, bacteria, they start accumulating in the small intestine, and this creates fermentation. Fermentation creates gas, gas creates pressure, and that pressure is the bloating you're feeling every single day. And the fix is simpler than you think. Space your meals 3 to 4 hours apart. No snacking in between it. Give your gut time to do its job. Most people feel significantly better in 1 week. Reason number 2, low stomach acid. And this is the one my patients are really surprised by, because most people think bloating comes from too much acid. In functional medicine, we see the opposite pattern consistently. When stomach acid is low, food doesn't break down properly in the stomach. It just sits there. Protein sits there, carbohydrates linger, and everything moves slowly into the small intestine. Sometimes there's bacteria in that small intestine, and this creates gas and pressure. So what lowers stomach acid? Chronic stress, rushing through your meals, eating distracted, aging, even H. pylori infections, which really suppresses stomach acid and is one of the most overlooked causes of chronic bloating. If you have upper belly bloating, nausea, reflux, or that tight, heavy feeling right after eating, low stomach acid may be driving it. I have a full video on H. pylori linked in the description. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it next. Reason number 3 is slow motility. Motility is how fast food moves through your digestive system. And when motility is slow, food is going to spend too much time in the gut. Bacteria then have more time to ferment it, and that fermentation produces gas and bloating that just won't quit. So what slows motility? Well, stress is a huge one. Your nervous system controls how fast your gut moves. Low thyroid function is another one. Your thyroid regulates the speed at almost everything in the body, including your digestion. If your thyroid's sluggish, your gut may be sluggish too. And here's the one that most people don't expect. Cold, raw, high volume meals, big raw salads, big heavy fiber bowls. When your gut is already slow, they can create pressure and problems fast. So try adding warm cooked meals for a week. Most people really feel the difference because your gut is going to move better when it's not working against cold, dense, raw food. Reason number 4, and this is the one that explains why so many people relapse. When that migrating motor complex breaks down, when stomach acid is low, when motility is slow, bacteria that belong in your large intestines can migrate up into your small intestines. We call this SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Here's why it matters. Research suggests that nearly half of people with chronic bloating and who get treated for SIBO actually relapse in a few months, not because the treatments failed to kill the bacteria, but because nobody fixed the conditions that allow the bacteria to grow in the first place. So if your stomach acid is still low, if your motility is still slow, if your migrating motor complex isn't running, that bacteria growth is going to come right back. It is a loop. And eliminating bacteria without addressing those root causes is exactly why so many people feel better for a couple of weeks and then end up right back where they started. It's so frustrating. You have to address the root cause. Reason number 5, your gut lining. Even after you address the bacteria, the acid, the motility, if your gut lining is still inflamed and compromised, bloating keeps coming back. Your gut lining is your barrier. When it's damaged, what we call intestinal permeability, immune activation stays elevated, inflammation stays high, and your gut stays reactive to everything. Stress damages the gut lining, and so do certain infections. So does the use of long-term NSAIDs and proton pump inhibitors. So what supports gut lining? Bone broth, the collagen and gelatin, these components really help rebuild the barrier. Spacing your meals, giving that lining time to rest and recover between eating windows. Managing stress, because chronic stress directly increases intestinal permeability. And then I love targeted nutrients, vitamin A, zinc, B. These are all critical for gut lining repair and are often depleted in patients that have chronic bloating. Here's what I want you to try this week. Shift 1, space your meals 3 to 4 hours apart. No snacking between them. Let your gut's cleansing wave run. This single shift addresses the root of many reasons why patients relapse with SIBO. Number 2, slow down at meals and eat something warm. Chew more. Eat warm, cooked foods when you can. This takes the pressure off your stomach so it can actually break down the food before it reaches the small intestine. Number 3, 5 minutes of deep breathing before meals. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This is going to shift your nervous system out of fight or flight and into rest and digest, where your gut can actually do its job. Stress is not a soft factor in gut health. It is a mechanical driver of everything we talked about today. If you've been stuck in a bloating cycle, fixing it, losing it, starting over again, it's not your fault. Most treatments only target the symptom. They don't fix the system that keeps losing the ability to stay in balance. When you restore motility, rebuild stomach acid, repair the gut lining, and address what's actually driving the overgrowth, bloating doesn't just get better, it stays better. Drop a comment below. How long have you been dealing with recurrent bloating? I read every single one, and your answers shape what content I make next. If this gave you clarity, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to go deeper on H. pylori, one of the most common root causes I see driving this exact cycle, the video is linked in the description. I became a functional medicine practitioner because I was tired of watching women suffer through symptoms they were told were normal. You deserve answers. You deserve to feel good in your body every single day. I'm here to take care of you so you can take care of the people you love.